Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tom Neiman. You're watching Paint and Draw with Tom. And today we are going to do a brief hike up to the top, or to the top of Mount Tammany here in the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. And we're going to paint the beautiful Delaware River as it meanders through the valley here, through those mountains that you see there. We'll take you on a regular speed, full length tour of the hiking trail up the mountain, and then I will periodically speed up the painting footage and grab select clips from the painting process for you along the way. The trail that we're on today is called the Red Dot Trail. Really important to take note of that this time of year in fall, when a lot of the leaves and debris are on the ground. It's really easy to end up losing the trail. So you want to keep your eyes peeled for those red dots that you see as the trail markers on this particular trail, especially once you get a little bit deeper into the forest here. So there's Route 80 West, Route 80 East going to the left, Route 80 West going to the right, and we're on the New Jersey side of the Delaware River in the Delaware Water Gap area. And we'll take a peek back at that occasionally from time to time. I have a lot of gear with me. I'm painting in a larger format today, hoping to beat some of the weather that's coming in. We have some wind gusts coming in that would make it very difficult to do this, but I'm going to be painting on a wood panel that's been gessoed several times and sanded. It's 18 inches by 23 inches, so it literally becomes a sail if we do have high wind gusts, and that's not a real good recipe when you're painting on the edge of a cliff. So in any event, you'll get a peek at that once I get set up here. Gonna make my way up the trail. And there are some cars in the parking lot, even though it's early on a weekday morning. I'm surprised by that. I've been here a couple times, as you may have seen on the channel in previous videos that I've posted. I've hiked up to the top of Mount Tammany during the week, early in the morning, and it's very rare when you see people here this early. In any event, beautiful morning, right in the middle of autumn or fall here in northeastern Pennsylvania and northwestern New Jersey. And we're just going to enjoy this hike, take in the views, and then once we get near the top, we will start painting. The All Trail website and the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area website suggests that this Red Dot Trail is roughly a 3.4 to 4 mile hike round trip. I'm going to take an abbreviated version of this hike today and go directly up the mountain and stop probably about 2/3 of the way. So my hike all around will be much less shorter. There's just a view that I really enjoy that you'll see once we get up to the top that I'm going to stop and kind of settle in and paint and then head right back down the mountain once I'm done painting. You can see this trail is not for the faint of heart. There's some rough terrain. It's a pretty steady climb with pretty significant increases in incline percentage from time to time when you're climbing up this trail. And as you'll likely hear as I make my way up the trail, I get out of breath quite a bit. I'm carrying about a 40-pound pack full of gear, and I'm holding this larger panel in my hand. And I'll take some rest every now and again, but it's definitely got the blood flowing, definitely got me breathing a little heavier. And I intentionally left my truck without any water, mainly just so I don't need to make rest stops along the way. I guess we'll just have to see how that works out. Also, if you've made it this far, maybe give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Maybe ring that little bell or click that bell so you get notifications when I post new video content out there, and share with a friend that you think might find this sort of content helpful, informative, interesting, or even funny. I'd appreciate that if you did. So we'll get on with the hike here, and I will report back in with you describing my setup initially on the top of Mount Tammany here as I begin to paint. Oh, and here we are, near the top of Mount Tammany, but at this particular spot, where we're not quite at the top of the mountain, is what I believe to be one of the most incredible views that you'll see in the Pocono region. There's something about this vista view with the Delaware River kind of meandering around Arrow Island, the history that's reported to have taken place in this area. This mountain, Mount Tammany, is actually named after a famous Native American chief, Chief Tammany, who was known to be a great peacemaker during the years with which he served as the chief. And supposedly there's a lot of Native American activity in this area as well. So this is the view that I'm going to paint. I'm going to get settled in, just find some little nook and cranny here that offers me a little bit of shelter from the wind and maybe a slightly better view of the river. I'll set up my rig, which is going to be my Sienna Plein Air easel. It's equipped with a pretty heavy-duty tripod. It's the large format Sienna Plein Air easel, which will expand quite easily to accommodate this larger format that I'm painting today. And given the heavy-duty nature of the tripod, it'll hopefully give me enough weight so the wind doesn't blow my easel off of the cliff here. As you might see as I go along here, the winds do pick up toward the end of my painting session, and actually do have to reach out and catch my easel from blowing over a couple times. Thankfully, my timing was good today. So we'll get things set up here and we'll get going. And as mentioned earlier, I will go ahead and fast forward and clip some of the video footage just to make sure that we stay within roughly 30 minutes or so for the total elapsed time of this video. This hike and paint session, the total elapsed time for it was well over 2 hours, probably close to 2 hours and 20 minutes from truck on up to this vantage point throughout the painting session and back to my truck. Probably about 2 hours 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. But we'll keep this video edited down to just around 30 to 40 minutes for you, for your convenience. And naturally, if you have questions about the process, the location, or any details about the approach to painting outside, on site, or on plein air, as the French say, just let me know. Put those questions in the comments. I'll do my best to respond as quickly as I can. One more note here, as is normally the case, right now I'm wishing that I arrived on location about an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier, because the light is just perfect at this moment. And I know it's going to change rather quickly, but that's just part of the process and we'll adjust as best we can. one more quick note for you about my setup here. I am using that gessoed board that I created myself. It's essentially a sheet of 1/4-inch birch plywood that has a couple of layers of gesso on it. The last few layers, I mixed up some black gesso and created a little bit of a transition from black at the bottom to gray to white toward the top, or light gray to white toward the top. My intention was to build a foundation by which I would have an easier time kind of handling some of the major value shifts in a scene just like this one. So I brought that along today. We'll see how it works out. It's just something I'm experimenting with. It's not an original idea by any stretch of the imagination. I've seen other artists doing this, and I was just curious to see if there was any advantage to taking this initial approach with the tints to the gesso. We'll see how it works out. A couple of interesting things to note about this is you can probably see by the tree branches and the bag blowing in the wind, those wind gusts started to pick up right about at this point, and the tripod was about to tip over a couple times. And fortunately, I did have the wherewithal to either lay a hand on the top of the tripod or grab one of the tripod legs before it blew over. In addition to that, there were quite a few folks on the trail today. It looked like there was a tour bus that maybe dropped off some folks. There was a large group that walked through. In addition to that, some smaller family units that walked through as well. So I had quite a few folks take notice of what I was doing and talk to me for a little while, and I always appreciate that. Especially like these folks were unusually respectful of my time. They kind of asked if this is something that I did regularly. A couple asked for my website address and my name so they could look me up on social media, and then quickly moved on. So yeah, it was kind of nice because I was able to get the work in, and probably to the extent that I was going to be able to endure the elements during this session. I got as much done as possible. I did start to tire a little bit after about, I would say, about an hour and 15 minutes of painting. It was hard to make the decisions that I need to make while constructing a painting like this. And it was probably time for me to quit when I did. So just all in, a really good day, beautiful day on the trail and also behind the easel. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video so far. And if you do, please subscribe and like this video. Perhaps maybe share with a friend who you think might enjoy this video too. So I'm just going to put a few final touches in here on the sky and also address some of the sparkles on the river as well. That surface of the river has changed quite a bit, as has the sky, as the sun moved higher in the sky here later in the morning. And I'm going to try to incorporate some of those elements, the ones that help to enhance this painting, at least based upon my best judgment at this point in time. And we'll go ahead and pack up soon and start walking back to the truck. I do appreciate you checking out this video and my work. If you enjoyed this video, please consider selecting this video up here that the YouTube algorithm suggests might be a good fit for you based upon your viewing of this video, perhaps maybe some of the others of mine as well. Thanks again for watching. Hope you stay well and hope to see you again next time.